So Hitler on the scoreboard.
Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State. Hitler on the scoreboard, not a super good look there among other scandals that are going on. So that third party service that they decided to like shift all of the blame on, like, oh, we got nothing to do with this. The third party service messed up. Yeah, that third party service was YouTube. That trivia thing was just a YouTube video that they were. So like that pisses me off in of itself. The part that extra pisses me off is like there's a student body of 50,000 kids there, doing documentaries, doing like big research things. You have an amazing athletic department filled with kids. You got a music school, you got a theater school. Like you could use that opportunity to showcase some of the talents that Michigan State is producing. But Hitler trivia is actually what we're gonna.
John, can I read a tweet that sums up Michigan State football this year?
Yes.
And this is from Alex Kirshner on Twitter. He said, "Don't think there has ever been a college football season that I can remember where a team bottomed out on the field, fired their coach after he chose to masturbate on a call with a vendor, and had to issue a statement explaining why Hitler was on their video board as they lost 49-0 at home to their biggest rival. All in one season, all within a month-long
more
span.
More Hitlers on the scoreboard than points from MSU. So yeah, all in. Not even a
that is a powerful tweet. I mean, that just kind of like shout out to Alex Kirshner because that just grabs everything you need to know about what's going on there. I don't think there's a lower place you can be as a college football program, especially one that has the history of Michigan State in the last decade or so. I mean, this is a team that was in the college football playoff in 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were in bowl games. They've won bowl games. They've beaten Michigan more than they've lost to Michigan the last decade. Like there is nothing you can. I mean, nothing you can say. Like, mention, it doesn't get worse.
Number 58, like.
Oh yeah. The cheap shot that was
my God,
that isn't being talked about enough. That gets overlooked because of the Hitler thing.
Because of all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, like legit. And I'm not trying to exaggerate this just because I'm rooting for the other team. Like 300-pound offensive lineman, like swan diving the crown of his helmet at the back of another dude's neck. Like that could have pulled.
Yeah. He quoted that tweet, by the way, afterwards, like a day later. He said, "Gotta admit, actually, several of these things I don't think are kind of one of a kind on their own." Like he's like, let alone all of them in one season. I mean, dude, like if one program did one of those things, they might be dead. Yeah. Let alone having all those things in about a 1 month span. But all I could say is the only thing that maybe at this point it doesn't get lower for Michigan State. I mean, it'll get lower before it gets better because everybody there is going to transfer out and they're just going to be a shitstorm for the next couple years. Their only chance of like a quick like fix everything now is Urban Meyer. I hate to say it.
Which is also just admitting defeat. If we're
being honest. Dude, listen, the dude wins football games as a college coach. He's a scumbag. He's very, very hateable, but the guy wins. And if there's any guy that can come in and flip that program and win you football games, whether you like him or not, it's him. And he has Michigan's number too. Okay, John, side note, flip this because you're a bullshit Michigan fan.
I know what's coming after
the sign stealing. All right, I want to talk about this for a second because for those that don't know, and I don't, obviously more and more comes out as we go. Is there sign stealing going on? Absolutely, without a doubt. There's
every team, every game.
Every team, every game. Start. Are they sending guys to the games to watch exclusively the signs? Maybe, maybe not. There's definitely already proof that there has been guys going to the games, whether that's administrated by Harbaugh and by his staff, or if that was just a dude doing it on his own to try to help the team. I don't really know. Okay, that we'll look into. Regardless, okay, they do sign stealing at every level of football. It's a part of the game. It's what it's become. If you're scared of it, huddle or change your signs. You know what I mean? Like it's gotten to the point where like if you think that that's why Michigan's been good, and that's the excuse you're making for either beating Ohio State or beating this team, like you're a joke. Okay.
Yeah, they are like. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be some conversations and some ambiguity as to how okay this is, depending on the extent of it. Which again, everybody does it, so it's literally just depending on how intentional and obvious you're being about doing it. Which, if that's the line we're drawing in the sand, that's kind of stupid in of itself. But the people that are acting like, Michigan revived itself as a program because their ability to read plays, that's the dumbest thing I've probably ever heard in my life.
Everybody in the country spends time trying to figure this out. I mean, they have like quality control coaches that are like that's their job. Like they're watching the other coaches. If you can get a pick, if you can get a clue on what the play is going to be, and you can call a better defensive call to stop it, like why would you not do that? Like that's part of the scheme battle. Like, NFL coaches do the same thing. It's a part of the game. So
Yeah,
you always have to stay one step ahead and tweak what you're doing, change your signals, change how you call some of the stuff. I don't know why it's so like the fact that that everyone has to do this to Michigan right now shows you how good and dominant they are and how jealous everybody else is. That you have to keep attacking them with these bullshit things like buying a kid a burger or having freaking signals stolen. Like it's getting out of hand. And here's the thing: never in NCAA's history have they ever punished a team that's on a championship potential run midseason. So even if they were doing way worse things, they're not going to do shit about it. And Harbaugh's going to leave anyway and go coach the Bears or freaking Colts next year. And the rest is going to be history. They're going to get their ring and it's going to be end of story.
yeah. I'm not. I mean, it's definitely like way overblown at this point. Not to say that stupid stuff doesn't go on. You want to fix this problem, by the way. Do what both high schools and the NFL are doing at this point, and just allow for communication in the helmet. I mean, like let's be real here. The NCAA is an incubator for potential NFL players. They are much more about being more or less a semi-professional football team than they are about education. I get people get educations while they're also being student athletes, but like a lot of people that are going to these major schools are going there to try to get their shot at being a professional athlete. I don't understand why there's rules and regulations around how a coach communicates with their players. Like that, high school does it just fine. College doesn't do it. NFL, obviously, it's on an entirely different level. I think that should be something that's totally permissible, and then you don't have this problem anymore, right? So
also, JJ McCarthy is now the betting favorite for Heisman, which we did talk about in the offseason a while ago. You can peep the receipts. Carter, I know you've been a fan of JJ's, and you definitely had him on that watch list. Did you sprinkle any on it preseason? Did you put your money where your mouth is, or
No, I didn't bet like any futures for college football.
you feel pretty good about that? I mean, I feel like it's his to lose at this point because Michigan wins out. It's his. Even if he doesn't put up freaky numbers, he's the best player on the best team, right? I mean, that's
I don't even think his numbers aren't even like insane outside of QBR. I don't think. Like I know he's leading the country in QBR, but I mean,
his completion percentage is pretty damn
good.
I mean, Michael Penix and Caleb Williams and Bo Nix and like all these other quarterbacks that are standout guys have better numbers. Like they're ridiculously better statistics wise. But
I feel like conference and offense kind of matters. Like
conference matters wins, Heisman moments, and your team. I mean,
he wins it if they win out and go to the playoff.